Can you hear me now? Okay. Sorry, I am sort of soft-spoken, so I might need to just get this microphone. All right. The volume, or I don't really know what the volume is, but so on behalf of the Homer Brown Division and the ACBA, I would like to welcome everyone to our 24th annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Prayer Breakfast Program. For the past couple of years due to COVID-19, it's been virtual, but I'm very excited to see everybody here to be in our first in-person event in the past couple of years, and it was really great just to see everybody kind of reconnect with friends and colleagues, and this is kind of like the spirit of why we have this event, so everybody can reconnect, especially during this very frigid, cold day. So before we begin, I would like to thank our sponsors and also the Ebenezer Baptist Church so obviously for the sponsors to help us be able to finance this event, and also for the Ebenezer Baptist Church who have, traditionally they've opened our doors to have this event, and this year they did the same. They always welcome us with open arms, so we really appreciate that. So I'd like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies. It's Elizabeth Hughes. So Elizabeth is a Senior Associate Counsel for UPMC, which is UPMC, and she's a graduate of the Pittsburgh School of Law, where she was president of her class. Upon graduation, Elizabeth clerked for the late Honorable Justin M. Johnson of the Superior Court of Pennsylvania. Prior to her tenure at UPMC, she was an associate at Raphael, Ramsden, and Bayers PC, and worked as an assistant solicitor for the County of Allegheny, representing the Office of Behavioral Health and the Office of Intellectual Disabilities. Elizabeth was also an adjunct professor at Duquesne University School of Law, which, now it's the Thomas R. Klein School of Law. Adjunct professor, providing legal instruction to students in the Civil and Family Justice Clinic. Elizabeth was past president of the Allegheny County Bar Association and a former chair of the Homer Brown Division as well. In addition to her leadership in the ACBA, she is also the immediate president of the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association and currently serves on the board of the Acba Family Trust. And just on a personal note, Elizabeth, I've known her since I came to Pittsburgh. I'm a transplant, and she was one of the first people to kind of just say, hey, this is what you're gonna do. And I did. And if it wasn't for someone like Elizabeth, I guess you guys can hear me now, but if it wasn't for someone like Elizabeth, I would be where I am today, and I'm really appreciative of who she is, and how she supports us to continue to be a power church. So I'd like to welcome Elizabeth Hughes.
Well, I don't have that soft-spoken voice problem that Jesse has, but don't let that soft voice fool you. He is a powerhouse and an accomplished young man, and I saw that in him. And thank you for the kind words, Jesse, when he was just a student at Pitt Law, and he is just constantly on to greater things. So the last time we were here in person, I was up here, and our master of ceremonies was Lynn Hayes Freeland, and she's a legend in Pittsburgh news, and you see her everywhere, and she's fabulous, and she's my sorority sister, and she's wonderful, and so of course they were looking for somebody to do this year, and they got me. So I can't live up to that expectation. I would try very hard, because she's down in Atlanta living her best glamour life, and so here I am instead. So this is what you got this year, right now. So this is the best they got. So happy to keep this going and help you out. Oh, there we go. We got some mic now. All right, but now you get me really loud. You get me in extra volume. So we are going to start off, and I will bring up Miss Brenda Tate of Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church to give you the formal welcome. And once again, we thank Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church for having us here, as they have once again and so graciously opened their doors to us for this program.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
So on behalf of our pastor, the Reverend Dr. Vincent K. Campbell, we welcome you to this historic church here. We're happy to have you every year for the past, 24 years? We have been glad, just overwhelmed to host you. Every year it grows, and we thank you for coming. Don't make this your last trip here. Come back and visit us anytime you feel free. If you go out these doors, the ladies' room is on the left, the men's room on the right. If you need anything from us, look for me and we can help you out here. Thank you for coming, and thank you for always having Ebenezer as the host for this event.
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel. It's 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
Thank you. And the invocation and leading of the Reverend voice and sing, that was Reverend Jewel Smith, who is here with us today from the Union Baptist Church of Swissvale. Thank you, Reverend Smith. And right now, at this time, I'd like to welcome our sponsor. And representing our sponsor today is Susie Shipley, who is the president of the Western Pennsylvania and Ohio Valley Huntington Bank. Susie Shipley, if you could come up. Right now, and give us a few words. Thank you for being here today.
Welcome, everyone. It is an honor to be here today for this 24th annual breakfast. What an event. Since Huntington opened our doors in 1866, embracing diverse ideas, views, and perspectives has been core to our people-centered culture. Our purpose is looking out for people, and it guides us to be a catalyst for positive change in our community, helping members of our community and our local businesses get the access to capital, affordable housing, and resources that they need to achieve their goals and pursue their dreams. This important day is about reflection, and it's about continuing the work. And today, it is also to honor two distinguished leaders of our community for their outstanding work, for what they have done for all of us. Thank you to the Allegheny County Bar Association and the Homer S. Brown Division for convening this important program. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce Rich Fitzgerald, our county executive. As many of you know, Rich is in his third and final term, and he has been a part of this prayer breakfast for many, many years. He is one of our leaders and our biggest champions of our region. And under his leadership, this county has concentrated on economic development and creating jobs. And he has been committed to many sustainability and diversity initiatives. And recently, he was named Pittsburgher of the Year by Pittsburgh Magazine. So it is no surprise to any of us, because he has been a great partner to Huntington and a great partner to many of us in this room. Rich, thank you so much, and let's give Rich a very warm welcome.
thank you for your wonderful partnership that you and Huntington have been for so many years. It is great to be in person again. And I've come to this thing, I guess 20 years or so, and the crowd always gets bigger. I think today was the biggest crowd I've seen throughout the breakfast that we've had over the years. And let me echo Susie's remarks of thanking the Bar Association for putting this on every year. I want to congratulate our two awardees today, Representative Lee and ALYSIA KEATING, for the work they continue to do and will continue to do on into the future. The Drum Major for Justice Award is something I think we all need to be the Drum Majors for Justice, living up to the Dr. King legacy of what we should aspire to be and what this region should aspire to be for many, many years. I will also tell you to come here for my last time as your county executive. It has been an honor to do this every year and to come to be with some of our students. Duquesne University comes every year. We see the men's and women's basketball team. I've joked over the years we'd like to see them play each other maybe after the breakfast today, see who would win. But the Bar Association, the law students from Duquesne, and I know under President Gormley and his team have always been here to add to the vibrancy and to the community spirit of what the Dr. King Award has been. I also note that standing here before a whole bunch of lawyers is always a little bit intimidating as a non-lawyer. And I note that a couple of the candidates looking to follow me are lawyers as well. I see Dave and Michael that are here. But Sarah, you don't have to be a lawyer. I swear you don't. But it is always great to be here in the presence of our law community as well as our judges. I'll note a couple things that we've been able to do over these last number of years that I think is noteworthy. When I got elected county executive, of the 43 or so common police court judges, there were 3 black judges who were there. And the president judge was not a black judge. Now, 12 years later, we note that the president judge, Judge Kim Clark, is the first black president judge. I know she's here today. And this is Judge Clark's last year as well as president judge. Her and I will be hand in hand leaving at the end of the year together. But I note that there were 3 back then, and now there are 7 black judges in the common police court. A year ago, we elected our first black mayor in the city of Pittsburgh. We elected our first black congresswoman in Allegheny County. And when we had this election 2 years ago for judges, the top 4 judges who were elected in Allegheny County were African American black judges who win. So we've made some progress. We're coming along, but we've got a lot more work to do. We know when it comes to equity and inclusion and all the things that we aspire to be, we have work to do. Susie talked about the economic growth that we've had, but that growth hasn't been for everybody. And we've got to all work together to make sure that that will continue to be the things that we do. So I appreciate your support and your coming to this every year, allowing me to come and speak. I want to thank also Reverend Campbell. I know Reverend Campbell's not here today, got called away. Brenda's ably filling in for him, Brenda Tate. Ebenezer has always opened up its doors to the community. They continue to do. They were very instrumental during COVID, when it came to testing, when it came to vaccinations, when it came to reaching out to make sure the most vulnerable in our community were served and helped along the line. So God bless all of you. Congratulations again to our awardees, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich, and thanks for being such a great supporter of this event for so many years. Now, it's my honor to introduce Mr. Gene Wilson, who is not only a fantastic colleague, but a dear friend, and who has worked hand in hand with me for many years in the County Bar Association. She's the current ACA secretary and past two-time chair of the Homeowners Firm Division,
and she will introduce the Distinguished Service Award. Regina Wilson.
Good morning. My name is Regina Wilson. It is an honor and a privilege to introduce the recipient of the Distinguished Service Award. This award was established in 2016 to recognize an individual for their service to the Homer Brown Division of the Allegheny County Bar Association. The inaugural award was given to Marlene Ellis, the former events director at the Bar Association, in recognition of her contributions to the division. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" This year's award is being presented to Alicia Keating in recognition of her decade of service to the Homer Brown Division. Through her actions, Alicia has answered the question posed by Dr. King. Alicia joined the Allegheny County Bar Association in 2011 as the Director of Diversity and Gender Equality. In this role, she served as the liaison to the Homer Brown Division and other affinity groups in the Bar Association. She was instrumental in the Bar Association's efforts to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion in the legal profession. During her tenure, Alicia oversaw and enhanced the award-winning summer clerkship program for diverse law students. She also developed the Women's Institute for Leadership in Law, known as WILL, and assisted in the creation of the Ally Initiative. The Homer S. Brown Law Association became a division of the Allegheny County Bar Association in 2011. The division's first decade was a success in large part to Alicia's contributions and tireless efforts. Her counsel to the leadership and membership of the division was invaluable and enabled us to not only fulfill our mission, but to create new programming and address issues facing our community. As liaison, she helped with the integration of the division into the Allegheny County Bar Association by facilitating the
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
the creation of our newsletter called The Sidebar, standardizing our elections, and creating digital files. Alicia was more than a liaison. She was supportive and continues to support our members, professionally and personally. Tyler Oliver, a past chair of the Homer S. Brown Division, said it best. Alicia has not only championed the Homer S. Brown Division, she has championed its members. She's truly been an advocate for each of us and a friend to us all. On behalf of the Homer S. Brown Division, thank you, Alicia. Please join me in recognizing the recipient of the Distinguished Service Award, Alicia Keating.
to the members of the Homer's Brown Division of the ACBA for recognizing me in this way. I'm truly honored and humbled. I've been very fortunate to have 2 great careers so far in my life. First, I was a corporate attorney, and then the Director of Diversity and Gender Equality at the Bar Association. It's unusual and even rare to find a job that allows you to align your personal convictions with your professional goals. That's what made it easy for me every day to get up and go into work at the ACBA, because it wasn't just a job, it was a passion. It was my absolute pleasure to support the members of the Homer S. Brown Division for the 10 years that I was at the ACBA, working alongside engaging thought leaders in advancing the mission of the division and helping its leaders and members to achieve their goals and their vision never seemed like work to me. I enjoyed every minute of it. In accepting this award, I really need to acknowledge the fact that I wouldn't have been able to deliver distinguished service to the division if it weren't for the unwavering support of the leadership of the ACBA. David Blainer, who unfortunately isn't here today, and all of the board of governors that I worked with over the years, and an incredible ACBA staff. The Homer S. Brown Division has accomplished an incredible amount in the time since it joined the ACBA in 2011. And I'm really, really proud to have been a small part of their success. And I really look forward to serving the division as a member now that I'm no longer with the ACBA. I'm most excited about the future of the division. Each of the executive officers of the Homer S. Brown Division and half of the council are former participants in the ACBA Summer Clerkship Program. So I'm so happy to see what it is that they make Homer S. Brown into, and just so happy to know that they are the leadership that will be leading the division forward. Thank you again for this incredible honor.
Miss the appearance of Alicia, and she's phenomenal. And if you had the opportunity to work with her, you know that there's just nothing that you could do that she wasn't just fully supportive of, and just thoughtful and listen. And the true definition of ally is sitting right there. So thank you. Always. And I have the distinct pleasure, once again, of introducing another one of my dear friends, sorority sisters, a woman I respect so thoroughly, and just seeing her excel and just move forward in her career. So proud of her. This is an individual who is a former Women in Law Division chair, a chair of the Judiciary Committee of the Allegheny County Bar Association, a past secretary of the Allegheny County Bar Association while I was the president, and was a great support to me, and is now I call her Your Honor, and is one of the very most thoughtful and incredible family law and criminal jurists I've seen work in a courtroom. And the Honorable Nicole Henry Taylor will come up and give a brief history of the Drum Major for Justice Award, and will be presenting that award.
Good morning, everyone. First, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for your kind words, and I want to also congratulate my friend Alicia Keating. I was blessed to have the opportunity to work with her and to accomplish amazing things for the diverse population of our bar and the community. And so congratulations, you deserve it. As Elizabeth said, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of Homer S. Brown. And it is a long history. It goes back all the way to 1969. And in that year, a group of Black law students and attorneys gathered together to talk about how they could find a way to have meaningful assistance to the Black students in pursuing their legal education, which was a challenge at that time. The Black students and the attorneys ultimately agreed to form an organization. They needed to formulate their goals and objectives. And initially, this group was called the Black Lawyers of Western Pennsylvania. And the organization was subsequently renamed after Pittsburgh's first African-American judge, Homer S. Brown. This was in honor of his accomplishments and enormous contributions to the Pittsburgh legal community. As was said before, in 2011, the Homer S. Brown Association joined the Allegheny County Bar Association. And they have been giving the Drum Major for Justice Award for many years. This award is presented to an individual or organization and recognizing HOER for their contributions in perpetuating the convictions of Dr. Martin Luther King. And these convictions are as follows: to make justice, equality, and opportunity a reality for all people. The award was named, it comes from the name of Dr. King's Drum Major for Justice Instinct, a sermon which we've all heard of. And he said, if you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness. And this is amazing that Homer S. Brown has encapsulated this into this award. And there have been many deserving people to get this award. And at this time, I would invite those who received the award in the past to please stand and be recognized. Homer S. Brown and this award that we had, I think I counted 4 at least recipients, so that is amazing that we will have hopefully this year.
Thank you for watching this video of Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
And join us again in the future. And I'm excited and honored and privileged to be able to tell you a little bit about this year's recipient. I had the pleasure of seeing her in action in many ways on panels in the community with passion and with utmost distinction. And this year, the 2023 Drum Major for Justice Award will go to Representative Summer Lee. I hope you heard that she was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. This is historic, and I'm so excited. I felt the energy when I mentioned her name. She is the first Black woman from PA to be elected to Congress. It is an amazing accomplishment, and as a Black woman who has had a dream, it is wonderful that you see your dream and you don't let anyone tell you can't. But that's not all that she does. She has helped so many others. And including me and many others who are now in positions such as the first Black mayor. She is an organizer, she is a collaborator, and she is very much appreciated by all of us. She is also an attorney, and she is, as we know, a very progressive legislator. She worked as a labor organizer. She has joined the fight for the $15 an hour increase in minimum wage. 2017, after repeated incidents of violence from police and school administrators against local students, Ms. Lee spearheaded a successful write-in initiative which transformed the local board. This is an example of someone that just doesn't just talk about it, she is about it. She gets it done, and that's very important in our society. In 2018, Ms. Lee ran for a spot on the PA House of Representatives. She took out a 20-year incumbent, another historic feat, and she won more than 67% of the vote. Representative Lee has been a voice for working families and a champion for sustainable jobs, environmental justice, police accountability, reproductive rights, immigration rights, and gender and racial equity. I don't know if there's anything else she could champion. She seems to have done quite a bit. She is a tireless advocate, as I said, for workers' rights and unions, and a living wage, which is very important as we see homelessness in our community in Allegheny County and other issues surrounding that. She is a native of Western PA. She grew up in Braddock and Swissville in the Mon Valley. And she went to Penn State, followed by Howard University School of Law, and she focused on civil rights and sustainable advocacy. And it's great to see that she's putting her degree to use in everything that she does. Last night I happened to see her on TV, so it was perfect timing. And she talked about justice, and she talked about working class. She made every second of that interview count, and she talked about what she truly believes in, what she lives, and that's important. She doesn't just talk. So I really could not think of anyone more deserving, and I'm glad that Homer's Brown agrees that this year's 2023 Drum Major for Justice Award should go to Representative Summer Lee.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is our sixth good morning, and I still not feeling the energy that this is an MLK day. We are all here. This is a day that the Lord has made. We're in Ebenezer Baptist Church. I think that there's a lot of reasons to be excited this morning, so good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this. I know that humility is not something that people often think of when we think of politicians, but when I think of receiving an award like this, I can't tell you how much I am not just appreciative and even a little bit shocked, because I remember the days where I didn't quite know where I was going to fit in society, and I didn't know where my path was going to lead me. But I remember when I was a young girl in Woodland Hills in my public school, and when they always asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up, I said I wanted to be a civil rights activist. And I found out when I got out of college that that's not really a real job. So there's a pathway that you have to forge forward, and I had to figure out what did it mean to be a civil rights activist in 2010s and the 2000s, in an era where we had felt like we had overcome so many of the hurdles that Dr. King and so many of the civil rights advocates of years past had fought for. And the longer and the deeper that I had sat in that idea, the more that I realized that the legacy wasn't over yet, and that each and every one of us still had a role to play. So I'm grateful that I found my place, because I had justice burning within me and I wasn't sure where to put it. So when I first decided to run for office, I ran, and people ask me to this day, why did you run? And I say that I ran because racism is cyclical, and we needed people who were going to talk about it. Well, we needed a government that was going to I just want to say really quickly, when you ask a politician to speak, you might get one or two things. You might get just a thank you, and you might get a filibuster. And I'm going to try to do something halfway in between that. But I want to say, because It's MLK Day, and every year on MLK Day, I stand up and I try to figure out what am I going to say today, because I spend most of my year being disparaged for so many of the things, the values, the ideas, the beliefs that MLK embodied every single day of his life.
That's right.
And in politics, I'm always grateful when I receive an award like this, but it's very hard to forget that leading up to this, all we see are people who talk about moderation. We see when people say that we need to move slower, that we need to be more patient. We see people tell us that, oh, we made it farther than you thought. Why can't you lighten up a bit? I hear people who talk about every year we increase the budget for the military. Every year we talk about capitalism, and we talk about MLK's dream as if the only thing he had ever advocated for was that we be judged by the content of our character and not just the color of our skin. Well, I just wanted to spend a couple minutes because this is the Drum Major for Justice Award, and every year it is a reflection on how do we, each of us in the places that we are, the positions that we hold, how do each of us push forward this legacy that Dr. King and so many others before us have fought for. So today, as a politician, as a congresswoman, in the vein of John Lewis and Sojourner Truth and Dorothy Irene Height and so many others, and Miss Alma Steve Fox, right here from Pittsburgh, and so many others who were organizers and activists, I want to ask everyone to not disparage activism and organizing, because that's what we need if we are going to be truthful and honest about what our politicians can and should be doing. If we are political leaders in the year 2023, I ask that we recalibrate our message, recalibrate our perspective and our vision, because if we are going to be honest about what Dr. King fought for, I want to remind you that he had critiques for our economic systems. He had critiques about militarism and imperialism and capitalism. He had critiques about wealth inequality. He fought not just for racial justice, he fought for economic justice. He died when he moved and expanded his fight for working class people, for poor folks. He was in Memphis for a fight for sanitation workers. Right now, as we see our labor fight under attack, remember that Dr. King was for that, making sure that black and brown and white folks from all religions and genders and religions and economic socio backgrounds were all fighting together, because that was the only way that we were going to actually move the needle on not just social justice, move the needle on progress in this country. So right now, as we are still in the midst of ongoing insurrections, and I call it that because if you were watching C-SPAN last week, you would see that the insurrection might not have ended yet. Well, we still have folks who are attempting to, by force, take our government and take our country in a direction that looks all too familiar if Dr. King were still alive today on his 94th birthday. So I remind you that each and every one of us has to be drum majors for justice now, because nobody who believes in justice and believes in equality and believes in equity and believes in racial progress can sit idly by right now and watch what we are watching in this country and not be for everything that he asked for. So I ask that right now on MLK Day, the best way that we can honor his legacy is by honoring the actions that he took, the sacrifice that he and so many others made. So as a politician, I will try my hardest to continue to embody that in a place that often asks us to conform. It asks us to be quiet and to shrink sometimes. It asks us to fall in line, and I will try my hardest in this place to not do that. I will try my hardest in this place. And I just want to thank you so much for the confidence that you've had for lifting me up. It's not easy to be the first black woman. My promise is that I will not be the last, so thank you.
Jules Smith for another musical selection. So sit back and enjoy. Reverend Smith.
Thank you for watching this video, Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh Events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
For that beautiful selection and your beautiful voice blessing us this morning. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce our Allegheny County Bar Association President, Mrs. Erica Laughlin, who will come up and give us closing remarks. And Erica is a longtime member of the Allegheny County Bar Association and also known her for many years. She's my law school classmate. That's how we do it at Pitt Law. And I also, at this time, she'll be followed by Gabrielle Lee, who is the chair-elect of the Homeowners Brown Division, and they will be followed by Reverend Jules Smith, who will give us the benediction. So please welcome them all to the podium. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Erica Laughlin, and I am so privileged to be here today on behalf of the Allegheny County Bar Association as its current president. I'm so glad that we're here in person. It brings a different energy, it brings a different vibe, and it's so nice to gather today together. Sometimes at big events, when things are happening in the world, for me, it gets it in its finest perspective when I think about it, hear about it, and learn about it through the eyes of children and through the voices of children. And I am privileged to have two little girls who were very excited to have a day off of school today. And so I asked them last night, I said, do you know why you have the day off of school? And my 8-year-old, Ella, said, it's Martin Luther King Day. And my younger daughter, Tessa, said, yes, he was one of the 3 kings who went to find Jesus. So I have a little bit of work to do there. But indeed, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was, in fact, a very wise man. Ella very quickly corrected her, and she said, no, Dr. King was a great leader, but he didn't need to yell, and he didn't need to use violence. He marched to help people have equal rights, and he was a good man. And she said, but Mommy, I'm sorry to say he was killed, and I think that's very sad. And it is very sad indeed. But as Dr. King said, you can kill the dreamer, but you cannot kill the dream. I am so happy to have Ella here with us today and to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King. I want to offer my heartfelt congratulations to both my friend Alicia Keating, who I saw firsthand do excellent work within the Allegheny County Bar Association, and also to Summer Lee, who is just so inspiring. Both of these fabulous women inspire me today, and I hope they inspire all of you. I want to thank the Ebenezer Missionary.
Thank you for watching this video, Pittsburgh Events. To watch this video again or any other video from Pittsburgh Events, you can go to the YouTube channel as 18 Ricco. It's youtube.com/18RICCO. Again, thank you for watching, and you can check out this video and any other video from Pittsburgh events and many other videos that didn't make it on TV.
Baptist Church for hosting us today, Deacon Wallace, Reverend Campbell, Reverend Smith and her beautiful voice, the members of the Homer S. Brown Division for always putting on such a wonderful event. And we have a lot of distinguished guests today, and it would take us too much time to recognize them all individually, but I do want to recognize them. So I'm going to categorize it as best I can. And I'd like first all members of the judiciary that are in attendance today to please stand, because I know we have several here. Members of the judiciary. We also have a number of public officials here today. Public officials, kindly stand and be recognized for your contributions. I did have the pleasure of walking in this morning with Dean Barton, and I know that there are many law students and students from Duquesne University here, so I'd ask that you stand and be recognized as well. Opportunity to be here this morning from the University of Pittsburgh, and there are any Pitt students currently here today, but I also want to recognize any of those folks who may be in attendance as well. There is a list of sponsors in your program. These events cannot take place without the sponsors, and certainly our thanks to our host sponsor, Huntington Bank. All the past recipients of the Drum Major for Justice Award who stood and were recognized earlier. How wonderful to have so many of you in attendance. And thanks to each and every one of you for getting up early this morning and coming here for this special occasion. In his Drum Major for Justice Instinct speech given February 4th, 1968, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. encouraged his congregation to seek greatness, but to do so through service and love. Dr. King wanted to be remembered for being a drum major for justice, a drum major for peace, and a drum major for righteousness. And as Summer told us today, we all need to be drum majors. And attorneys, there are so many attorneys in this room, we are uniquely suited to fight for justice. And so I ask all of us in attendance, as we continue the work on diversity, equity, and inclusion in both the legal profession and our communities, let us think of Dr. King. And as we advocate for others, let us heed the call to serve and to love one another. God bless you all.
Good morning. Good morning. This is the last good morning, so I think good morning. Good morning. On behalf of the Homer S. Brown Division of the Bar Association, I just want to thank you all for coming. Year after year, you all continue to show up. Thank you for your patience after 2 years of virtual events. We're a little bit rusty, but I do want to thank Jesse Exelis, who's the chair of our division, for his leadership. We're still in, uncertain times and making difficult decisions about whether to do things in person, whether to do things remotely just to protect the members of our community, the members of our bar association, our division. It's not an easy task, so I want to give a round of applause to our chair, Jesse Exelis. Without their donations, this event cannot continue to happen. So I'd like to thank Huntington Bank, Dickie McCamey, Reed Smith, Meyer, Vick and Scott, Strasburg, McKenna, Gutnick and Geske, Pollock and Begg, Zimmer Coons, and Saul Ewing. In addition to that, I would like to give a very big thank you to Elizabeth Hughes, who, in addition to being our master of ceremonies this morning, is just an exceptional mentor. I started law school with Jesse as well, and I do remember Elizabeth being one of the first friendly and welcoming faces. So thank you very much, Elizabeth, for leading us through this. And Reverend Smith, thank you. Reverend Smith is wearing many hats today. When she first got the message from me, we used to go to church together back when I was a teen. I told her, hey, I just need you to sing two songs please. And 2 songs turned into the 2 songs, invocation, benediction, and anytime there's an awkward silence, please just, come up and fill the gap. And finally, thank you to the members, to Pastor Campbell, and all the board members of Ebenezer Baptist Church. A few members of our council had the privilege of touring the church and speaking with members and members of their staff to hear some of the things that Ebenezer Baptist Church is doing in the community, and it truly is wonderful. So I ask that you take Ms. Tate's offer up and come back and join them on a Sunday or for one of their other programs. Before you all leave and head back to your cars, and many of you have the day off, I ask that you greet each other and have a chance to introduce yourself to someone you don't know. And we look forward to having you again at next year's program. Thank you.
Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so I can bring you more videos on subjects like this and many other topics. Please leave any comments in the comment section. Any questions or comments, I'll get back to them as soon as I possibly can. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.